Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, and welcome to another 9 a.m. live with yours truly, Mindfully Michelle. I am so happy to be here with you today. It was definitely a challenge getting here. It has been a challenging weekend. However, today we are talking about all things immunity so you can avoid the trouble that I've gone through this weekend. And if you do go through something similar, that you can be in the best shape to be able to be healthy and well this cold season. So I'm going to give you a moment to come on and so we can get started on this beautiful topic. Today, I am going to be giving you some tools that I use that are very effective tools in helping boost immunity, help with the immune response, and especially right now with cold season, we need all the help that we can get. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. This weekend has been challenging because my husband got COVID, and it has just been, I've been very worried about him. COVID cases have been on the rise. Been wanting to support him and give him love and support as much as I can and help him heal through this process. I made an amazing chicken broth and bone broth this weekend, and that was just lovely, and I could tell that it really helped him after he ate it. It felt so good. And so today with this cold season, we have cold going around, we have the flu going around, we have COVID going around. And so it's very important for us to protect our immunity, to build it up as much as possible. So when we are exposed to pathogens, what can we do to be able to have that strong immune system to give a strong immune response so that perhaps we're not sick for a long time if we are exposed and we actually do get sick. And in the event that, we have a strong enough response, maybe we don't even get sick at all. So disclaimer, this is informational purposes. This is not to substitute any kind of medical advice. Always consult with your doctor before changing your regimen, adding any supplements, changing your diet. So just kind of use this for information. This is what's worked for me and my family as a result of research that we've done. And so here I'm sharing some of these tools with you. So we're going to talk about, first we're going to start off by talking about what are the things that affect your immune system. Believe it or not, your immune system is impacted heavily by many things. So something as simple as sleep and getting off your sleep cycle could impact your immune system. Cold weather, when the weather changes, transmissibility of infections rises. So cold weather, because viruses and pathogens don't tend to live as much in warmer weather. We also have diet. Diet is huge. If you're eating mainly processed foods, you're not eating a whole food diet, then you're not getting the nutrients that you need, that in the event that you are exposed to a pathogen, you're not getting enough of the nutrients you need to be able to fight them off. Stress is also a really big one. Stress is huge. I'm a very firm believer that stress can impact every area of our lives. I've seen it firsthand with, just fatalities. People with stress have a higher risk of developing like heart disease, a higher risk of infection, a higher risk for developing illness in general. Stress impacts your hormones, and we'll talk about that in a future episode. how exactly it impacts your hormones. And when your cortisol levels are increased, your body's not functioning properly. Our body is intended to be in a homeostatic, um, harmonious type of vibe. And when it's not that, it's heavily impacted, and it's not going to function properly. So welcome. I see you joined, Maha. Welcome. Today we're talking about immunity and how you can boost your immune system. And currently we're talking about the different areas of your life that can impact your immunity and create a weak immune response. Thank you. So we talked about sleep. Sleep is really huge. We talked about stress just now. Definitely managing your stress is going to be helpful in being able to have a good immune response. And the weather, during colder months, we tend to have a lot more infection going around. And what happens is people will sneeze, they will cough. And so pathogens that spread and viruses that spread through aerosol are going to be more likely to spread during this season. So I want to share with you some of the supplements that I use, some of the foods that I recommend, that I have, some of the food that I have also that I eat that really helps. But more importantly, before we dive into that, I want to just mention your immune system is impacted by a lot of things. So just take a step back during this season as you're trying to build up your immunity and examine your routines. Am I going to sleep on a sleep schedule? Am I eating food at certain times of the day? Am I responding to my body when it's hungry? And when it is, am I replenishing it with foods that are good for it? Am I keeping stress low? And am I self-caring during this time? Another thing that I want to mention is, since we understand that pathogens and viruses can spread through aerosol, we want to make sure that we're avoiding contact with people who might be sick. So for example, this weekend I was in Costco, and I doubled up because I had COVID exposure. Even though I don't have COVID myself, I was exposed to someone who had COVID. So I wanted to protect other people. So I doubled up on the mask. I even wore my glasses because contact with eyes could also spread viruses and pathogens as well. And I just went on. I didn't have gloves at the time, but if I had gloves, you better believe it, I would have had gloves on. And it's extreme for some, but when you are indoors, you're going to be a lot more likely to be exposed. And believe it or not, I entered Costco, and you know what Costco is like on a Sunday. And I entered Costco, and coughing and sneezing and coughing and sneezing, it was everywhere. I kid you not. I stepped in and I probably heard 3 people sneeze as soon as I walked in. And then there wasn't an aisle that I went down where I didn't have to find a detour and avoid the people that were coughing and sneezing. So people are not always responsible in avoiding public areas when they're sick. So you have to be to take that initiative to protect yourself. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. And sometimes people, maybe they don't have the means. I mean, I would imagine with Instacart and all these delivery systems, they do have options, but they're not the problem. We just have to protect ourselves and our immunity during this season so we could fight off pathogens. So I'm going to talk to you about some of the supplements that I use. So the first thing that I like to use is a D vitamin, is a D3. I use a D3K2. I like this company, Jow. Jow is a really good company because they use whole foods when they're developing their nutrition. It's a fairly new company and their ingredients are pretty clean. 70% of people are deficient in vitamin D. And even people who take a vitamin D supplement can be deficient in vitamin D. So definitely check to see how much vitamin D you're taking and what your vitamin levels are. Vitamin D deficiency is associated with a host of weakened immune responses and illnesses as well. So when you tend to up your vitamin D, it will build your immunity. A D3K2 compound is really good because K2 supports the D3 absorption and it aids in regulating the D3 distribution as well. You'll also see some D vitamins with calcitriol. That's also good. I personally like the D3 with the K2. Now, in terms of IU, where it would be a 125 microgram dosing is basically 5,000 IU units. So that's a really good way for you to determine how many IUs you needed. When you're sick, you definitely want to increase that. Talk to your doctor first. Like I said, this is not intended for as medical advice. This is intended as informational purposes based on the research that I've done. But my husband is currently taking about 15,000 IU, just to get an idea. Okay, another one I want to mention is zinc. Zinc is really huge. It's a mineral that we need in our body. And I like to use Solaray. Solaray is a really well-established brand that you could purchase at Sprouts. And I like to get a bioavailable zinc. Zinc helps with the innate immune response, which is the first line defense in your body when you have an immune response. What it means to have a bio zinc is a bioavailable zinc. And so zinc citrate would be a good bioavailable zinc that you can use. As far as dosage, I would just recommend doing your own research on that. There are multiple supplements that will show you that will have 50 milligrams. And personally, I advise against that because zinc can build up in your liver. And you know, this is the thing with supplements, and this is why everybody has to do their own research before doing supplements. I see somebody else joined. Welcome, welcome. We're talking about everything immunity today, and I'm sharing with you the supplements that I use currently. And if it works out for you, that's great. Make sure to do your own research first. Okay, so BioZinc is really good. Don't take too much zinc because it will build up, and after time you will notice that there could be some zinc toxic effects on your body. So do your own research. My number one supplement that I really like to use is a curcumin. Curcumin is the active component in turmeric. So this is Curamed. This is one I like to use. This is a new technology. It's called liposomal technology. And it's supposed to bypass your digestive system and go directly into your liver where it starts working. We've been taking this for some time and I really like it. Curcumin is an anti-inflammatory. So you can have a lot of turmeric, but if you really have inflammation going on in your body as a result of being exposed to COVID or stress or anything else, turmeric is probably not going to be enough because the amount of curcumin in turmeric is still pretty low. Even though it's an active ingredient in it, you're going to need high doses to be able to reverse some chronic conditions that you may have developed, and especially with something as serious as COVID, that triggers a huge immune response. So Curcumin is a really great one. Make sure that you have that it has black pepper in it so that it can activate the curcumin and increase bioavailability. Okay, next I have, let's see, vitamin C. So I like to use vitamin C in ascorbic acid. That's usually the form of vitamin C I like to use. This one has bioflavonoids as well. Unfortunately, this is a synthetic vitamin C. Camu Camu is an excellent source of natural vitamin C, and I like to use that as well. But when I'm trying to go with higher doses, I might resort to a synthetic vitamin C because it's going to have higher dosage than that. However, I do often combine it with a natural vitamin C like Camu Camu because your body will always recognize whole foods a lot more than it will recognize synthetic, and the amount that gets absorbed will always be a lot more with food. And that's why eating a whole food diet is going to be number one when it comes to boosting your immunity. So that's that for vitamin C. And finally, I want to talk about oregano oil. I've been taking, this is a fairly recent addition that I've been taking. I like the Sprouts brand because Sprouts actually takes their time in collecting really quality products. They have a very rigorous testing that they conduct on all of their supplements. And I've spoken with several Sprouts employees about this, and they just rave about their testing process. So, and Sprouts is just very reputable in general. So I'm going with an organic oregano oil. Oregano is an antioxidant. It's a strong antioxidant that protects you from free radicals. And so I just take one drop. I haven't built up to 4 drops. It's anytime you're taking supplements, you want to make sure you build up to it. Don't just go and take the full amount, even though it says this is the amount you should be taking. Build up to it. It's something new you're introducing. Supplements can be dangerous. I have seen adverse effects happen from supplements, and that's why it's absolutely critical that you do your research first. And what about Camu Camu powder? Yes, Camu Camu powder is wonderful. Yes, I'll send that to you after. This is the oregano oil that I'm using. And so I just take one drop in my water. It makes it very bitter tasting. And but it's wonderful. I felt my immunity boost up. So it was just a really great addition that I've been doing. Okay. Welcome, Mimi. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so we've talked about some of the supplements that help with immunity. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about foods that are really, really good in helping you boost immunity. The number one thing I want to say works for us for building our immune system is probiotics. There's prebiotics and there's probiotics, and I won't dive too deep into too much detail. I went over this in my 3-day Heal Your Gut challenge last year. I'll probably be doing that again sometime this year. But basically what happens is we have good and bad bacteria in our stomach, and the good bacteria is going to help you with your immune response. And in order to be able to protect the good bacteria and for the good bacteria to outnumber the bad bacteria, you need to give it food so it can grow and nurture just like you would yourself. And so when you're eating fruits and vegetables, green leafy vegetables, crucifix vegetables, things like that, this is going to be an even flaxseed, oats, things like that are going to be really good prebiotics, which is food for the probiotics, the good bacteria. Then there's the probiotics. And the probiotics is basically giving you access to good bacteria. And that could be in the form of fermented vegetables, sauerkraut, live cultures in a yogurt or kefir type of cultured product. So personally, I like to get a fermented relish from Sprouts, and that's really my favorite. I get a fermented beet relish. Beets are really good for your gallbladder, and at the same time I'm getting probiotics, and I just love whole foods. I prefer whole foods over supplements any day because your body is going to recognize it and it's going to know exactly what to do with it. The other downfall of having too many supplements as well is that your body is not used to processing that much nutrition all at once. So most of the time, you're only going to absorb some of that. And that's why I recommend personally supplementation around the time where you really need it and if and when you really need it. Otherwise, whole foods are the way to go. In terms of other foods you can be eating, incorporate greens, dark leafy greens like kale, spinach. Those are powerhouses. Blueberries, another powerhouse with a ton of antioxidants. The green leafy vegetables have a ton of vitamin C and just a lot of nutrition and minerals that you need. And then other whole foods as well as teas are really good. I like to do like a ginger turmeric tea that's usually extremely soothing. And just eating a whole nutrient dense diet during those times. So here you go. I hope that helped you greatly. I hope you got some kind of piece of information that can help you. Again, consult with your doctor before you introduce any supplements. And this is for informational purposes, not to substitute for medical advice. I hope you're having a beautiful day. We're having a question. What if I'm dairy-free and have sensitive stomach, sauerkraut, and GERD? What recommendations do you have? In the event, so first of all, dairy can be highly inflammatory, and it's a good food to avoid during periods of inflammation. Our body can have an inflammatory response when we consume dairy. In the event that you don't like or you're not able to take in sauerkraut or other types of probiotics, in that event, you want to increase your prebiotics, which is the green leafy vegetables, the cruciferous vegetables, the flaxseed, all of those foods to be able to increase the number of good bacteria that you have. You also have the option of taking a probiotic supplement. There are multiple ones that are really good out there. I personally don't take any, so I can't recommend any particular brands. However, make sure that when you are looking for a probiotic, make sure that you're looking for something that has good biodiversity. We have thousands and millions of different strains of bacteria in our bodies, and so we need biodiversity. So just be on the lookout when you are buying a probiotic and ensure that they have multiple strains of good fighting bacteria in them. I hope this helped you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for stopping in. I'll talk to you next Monday at 9 a.m. I do have an announcement before I go. I was able to complete the Mind Body Healing Guide. It has been something I've been working on for a couple of months. It's 16 pages and it has a bonus journal. It's a free guide that I'm offering to my community. I'll be sharing that with you below in the comments. So just go ahead and check out the comment in the below, and it's going to give you a lot of the tools to help you manage stress, which is what we talked about today, that will help boost your immunity. And also, I have an event that is coming up on February 11th. It's called the I Am Love Breathwork Healing Circle. And breathwork has been profound in helping me reduce stress, manage anxiety, and just unload a lot of trauma that's happened in my life. And so whether you're trying to reduce stress or anxiety, breath work is going to be a really, really helpful tool. The event is virtual. You can be able to log in from the convenience of your home. And so registration is currently 50% off. So go ahead and register. I'll include those details below. And if you have any questions, let me know. See you next week at 9 a.m.